Hi, it's Jill Foster here for Penny Black, and I am so excited today to be sharing with you all of the new products that are part of our collection called Share the Love. And this is a love-themed collection, but the stamps and the dies included can be used for so many different occasions. Valentine's Day, thinking of you, sending hugs, birthdays. So it's just a really fun collection. Before we get started, I wanted to mention we do have a giveaway for you, our YouTube watchers, for a chance to win a $50 shopping spree to our online store. Subscribe and be sure to leave a comment below. And if you're already a subscriber, just be sure to leave a comment down below. And one more thing, the best way to find these new products, which are available starting today, are in our online store, and I will link to that for you down in the YouTube description box below. And the best way to find them in our online store is to click on that new button in the left-hand sidebar at our site. So let's get started. The first thing we'll take a look at are at the new sentiment sets that are included. This first set is a miniature 3x4-inch transparent set, 30-666, only you. I love this set. You will see on my cards that I have used it a ton. And you can build with this set. So you can say, for me, there's only you, thinking of you, missing you, hugging you, I love you, dreaming of you, you light up my life, uh, you today and always. I know what love is because of you. You are the sunshine that makes my day. So there's so many great things you can build with this. And like I said, great for Valentine's Day, but great all throughout the year. So here's an example of a card where I've used this. And what's fun is because of the way the sentiments are divided up, I could stamp the sentiment in black and then emboss part of it in white. So you can play around with that. You can also use it with your die cuts. So a lot of us have thinking of you die cuts. Just use the you and then add in those supporting sentiments. Here's another example where you can do two different colors with that sentiment set. And it's very easy to do because of the way that it is designed. Now this next set is another 3x4-inch transparent set, 30-668, Hug Me. Thanks for being a sweetheart. Happy Valentine's Day. Be mine, hug me, kiss me. And you can see I've kind of cut mine apart there down at the bottom, but you can also keep it together. So here where I've cut that apart, I've used just that Be Mine. I love that font. This is a really nice one for Valentine's Day. Now this is our full-size transparent set, 30-667, Love Language. And oh, there's so many beautiful sentiments here. I love you in so many ways and for so many reasons, but mostly because you're my very best friend. No words are enough to describe how fantastic you are. Let all that you do be done in love. The best things in life can never be kept. They must be given away. A smile, a kiss, and love. If I had a single flower every time I thought of you, I could walk in my garden forever. A time for love. There's nothing more. There's nothing on earth this earth prized more than true friendship. Seeing you brightens my day, and a rose speaks of love silently in a language known only to the heart. So you can see, great for Valentine's Day, great all time of year. So here's just a card sample using one of the sentiments from that set, and you'll see those throughout all of the cards today. So next we'll take a look at some of our Hedgy and Friends stamp sets, some brand new ones. This first set is 30-658 Hedgy Love. Oh my gosh, I can't get enough of this set, and I made gobs and gobs of cards with it. They each have something unique about them, and there's a couple of sentiments included as well. And this does have an exact match die available that will cut out each element on the card. That's 51-605 Hedgy Love cutout, and I'll just set these here so that you can see what you're getting with that. Now, if you are wondering about any of the other products, specific products used on each card that I will be showing you today, on our blog over the next several weeks, we will show each card individually and link to each product used on it on the blog. And I'll link to our blog down in the YouTube description box below with some dates as to when those cards will each be posted. So here using this Hedgy Love set, I've made a pair of tags. These are so fun to color. I've colored them with alcohol-based markers and then cut them out using the exact match dies and added them to the tags. And again, you can see those wonderful sentiment sets we've already peeked at here. On here, thinking of you today and always. And these are so fun to just sort of pop into little circles, peeking out For this card, I've done some color blocking and just featured a few of those on the card. This is a great technique if you're looking for a way to add a lot of hedgies. And here I've given her a really colorful bouquet and then matched it up just by gluing down strips of colored cardstock to my background. Now this is a new miniature transparent set 30-661 Sweetheart, and I've combined it with that Hedgy Love set, so I wanted to give you a look at it here. It also has a couple of great sentiments, and here you can see where I've used it with the Hedgy Love set and used the sentiment and those balloons up in the sky, and I just love how that looks when I combined it with the other one. And then another new transparent set is 30-659 Potted Passion, and I love the sentiment on this too. Love is a flower you've got to let grow. But here I've used it again with another one of those hedgies from the Hedgy Love set, sort of popping out and peeking out behind with her flower. Now the next is a miniature transparent set 30-656 Share the Love, and it does have an exact match die available, and that is 51-602 Share the Love cutout, and I'll give you a look at that. It cuts the Hedgy and the bear individually. And I'll just slide that out of the way and give you a look at card idea with that. Here I've positioned them on one of our new dies, the XOXO, and I'll have more on that for you in just a bit here, and have them sort of giving their little gifts to each other. And then on this next card, I just used the little Hedgy on there and added him to a garden with some of the new flowers from this release. And again, there you can see that great sentiment. I know what love is because of you. So this is the 30-660 Snuggles, and it does have an exact match die available, 51-600 Snuggles cut out. And here is the card I've created with that. I just love how cute this pair looks together. It's kind of cheek to cheek, getting their hugs in there. And a great way, if you just know someone that needs a lift, you can give them that and send them some hugs. So now we'll take a look at some more of our critters and characters. And this first stamp is another miniature transparent set, 30-662 Little Charmer. And it has an exact match die available, 51-606 Little Charmer cutout. And this also comes with like a little bonus sentiment included that says love. And I'm just pulling this out here for you so you can get a look at what that looks like once it's cut. It's really cute and a fun little font. Again, just a nice little bonus that you get with this die. I know sometimes with the dies it's hard to tell until you actually have them or you see them cut out exactly what they're going to look like. So I'm just getting this out here so that you can see that. So a really fun little font there that comes with that. I love this teddy bear. The face on it is just so cute and sweet. Here's the card that I have made with it. Again, just very simple coloring with alcohol-based markers. Layered some of our new flowers with that and added a frame. Next is 30-657 Berry Much. And this also has an exact match die available, 51-598, the Berry Much cutout. It comes with a great sentiment too, and this die cut also comes with several little bonus hearts that you can get in a variety of sizes, which are just really fun. You can layer them up on this card or use them on lots of different cards. And so here's just a look at what those look like cut out, just a few variety of sizes, just a really nice simple heart. Again, I like to often just cut out a whole bunch of these from white cardstock, red cardstock, pink, whatever I think I might be wanting for my cards. Keep them in an envelope and they're ready to easily add when I need them. So I've made a couple of cards. Here I've kept things more traditional, sort of Valentine's colors. There you can see those extra die cut hearts and the image that was colored and then cut out. And then I just red heat embossed my sentiment on that card. And then this one I did a little bit different color scheme on, added a little sentiment coming out like he's holding that. I just cut that with an X-Acto knife just a little bit there so I could slide that sentiment in there. So you could add lots of little things there sort of hanging from his hand. This next teddy bear, I cannot get over how cute his little smile is. This is 30-652 Forever Yours, and it has the exact match die available, 51-604 Forever Yours cutout, and it comes with a bonus Be Mine sentiment, that exact match die. You can see I had so much fun coloring this bear. I have a couple here that haven't even made it onto cards yet, but he is just so cute. You can do so many different things with him. So here is a card that I've created with him. I've added that Potted Passion stamp behind him and the sentiment from that set. Again, just so cute, fun in those sort of traditional Valentine's colors, but you can do them in lots of different colors. There's that Potted Passion that I've just cut out and added behind. And then this is what the Be Mine die looks like that comes with that exact match die. So just wanted to give you a look at that sort of bonus Be Mine, what it looks like once it is cut out. Now this next transparent set is 30-650 Take Me Away. And I'm just trying to get this here so you can see them a little bit better, but a really fun mix of different critters on here. You're getting the mice, the teddy bears, some flowers, and a hedgie on there. Very versatile set. And I will pop this back on and then grab the card that I've made. And you can see I just stamped that and fussy cut it out and just popped it into the oval, and just had some elements of red there just for some pop of color with those critters. Now these two miniature transparent sets, the first is 30-651 Cupcake Cutie. And then this is a really fun sort of sentiment set. This is 30-669 Recipe for Love. So there we have both of those. And I've combined them together on my card. I just think this is so cute. And I love the little pots and measuring cup that you get with that as well. So here is the card that I've created with those. I've added that Valentine's recipe to our paper scroll die cut. I've cut out a few of those pots and pans and added them on there. And then I've split apart that bottom portion of the sentiment. So next we'll take a look at our elegant cling stamp. So we've had a good look at a lot of the cutesy style images, and now we have some very elegant designs. This first is 40-719 Rose Romance. And I love that this has the heart that you can stamp, so it looks like it's hanging from the wreath, but it's separate, so you don't have to use it, or you can use it on other cards. Here I've done a nearly one layer card with a no line watercolor look. And this is just a little bit more detailed version. So I stamped that and fussy cut it out and glued it on top of a die cut sort of oval or circular frame, and added some extra die cut pieces inside. This next stamp is called 40-718 Passionate Blooms. I love the flowers on this. They are so gorgeous and can be colored and painted in so many different ways. Here I stamped them in a very light ink and painted them in using Distress Ink re-inkers used as watercolors. Just a very simple, nearly one layer look. And here I've stamped this in black and colored it with alcohol-based markers. You can do very simple coloring because there's a lot of shading and detail in the stamp already. And I just fussy cut that out and added some die cut leaves around the edges. Now this stamp is 40-721 Winsome Wreath. Another beautiful, beautiful stamp. I can't get over those roses up there. I just think they're gorgeous. Here I've stamped it in black and colored it with alcohol-based markers and just fussy cut around the edges and added some die cut leaves just to finish that off around those edges and add a little extra interest. And then here, to give this a completely different look, I just stamped a portion of that on the top and bottom corners of my card and did some no-line watercoloring with it. And then finally, we have 40-720 Beloved View. And this is a really versatile stamp. So you can do this for sort of spring or fall or even summer scenic stamping. But if you want to give it a love themed twist for an anniversary or Valentine's Day, you can add those balloons onto the fence, which is what I've done here on my card. And if you're looking for scenic stamping ideas, these stamps are actually very easy to work with. If you just look in our YouTube channel, I have lots of videos on different techniques for using these scenic stamps. Okay, next we'll take a look at some of our charming and whimsical and more floral stamps. These are some of my absolute favorites from the collection, and you'll see I've done a lot of cards with them. This first is 30-664 Banner Blooms, and you can see you get a lot of variety of different flowers, styles, a great big whimsical looking banner, and this does have the exact match dies available, 51-603 Banner Blooms cutout. And with these having the exact match dies, there's so much versatility to the different ways that you can layer these. You can put them together into bouquets. You can layer them behind or in front of the banner. You can use them with critters. You can use them for very elegant cards. So I just think this is a really versatile set. You can use it for Valentine's Day, but you can definitely use it all year round. You can see I had a lot of fun just coloring these in. So I just stamped a ton of them and colored, and then die cut out lots and just popped them into an envelope ready to go. So I have a lot left over here that I haven't even used yet, which I'm looking forward to using on the cards. But you can see you could even just take a couple and tie a little twine around the bottom and have a very simple card. You can create your own bouquet with those. So let me just slide these out of the way and I will show you some of the cards that I've made with this set. I think this is definitely a set I will be going back to a lot. So here I've used this with the banner. I've added a die cut sentiment and just layered lots of the different little pieces here, some in front of the banner, some behind, with dimensional adhesive. Here I've done a row of the flowers and snuck in a little hedgy on there and kind of done a rainbow effect with those going across the card. Here I did not use the exact match dies, but rather stamped them in a light colored ink and colored them using Distress Ink reinkers used as watercolors for a no-line watercolor look, and just added my sentiment to the middle. And here you can see where I was talking about they're great for just sort of tucking in behind your critter stamps or any type of design that you're working with. They can add color and just a lot to the overall look of the design. Here I've even just used a couple of the leaves to tuck behind this potted plant. And here again, just a couple of the leaves up here for some added interest into that upper portion of the card. And finally, again, a couple of these tucked behind the hedgies for some bright pops of color. Now this next set is 30-665 Key to Kindness. Again, very whimsical, very happy. I like how they are whimsical but also elegant. Here you can see I've used that heart, sort of rose heart, colored that with alcohol-based markers and just fussy cut around the outer edge. Now here I've used the bouquet from this set, but I've also combined it with our miniature transparent set 30-653 Up and Away. So I've got the balloons tucked in up into the bouquet and then some of that stamping down at the bottom in a light gray. Just finishes things off very well, and you can see you can really mix and match these different stamps. This is 30-654 Wreath Whimsy. I cannot get over those birds. I just love those birds. But again, just so whimsically and happily drawn images on this stamp. You just feel happy when you're making cards with these. So here is a card where I have used those birds and I just fussy cut those out. With this style of image, you can do very basic coloring, even solid coloring. Not a lot of shading is needed to get a finished look. Here I just used a portion of that wreath along the bottom part of the card. This is probably in my top 5 floral stamp sets, and it's actually a miniature transparent set 30-655 tenderness. And it has an exact match die set for all of the elements, 51-601 tenderness cut out. And if you're looking for a good value and a floral set that you can use in so many different ways for tons of different occasions, I would definitely consider this one with the exact match dies. The sizes of the flowers are great and you can do so many different things with them. So I did make a lot of cards with these and they are such fun to color. For this first card, you can see where I've just did a little cluster of the flowers up in the top corner. Here I stamped them onto toned gray paper and colored them with colored pencils. And it's very easy with the exact match dies. I just die cut those out and added them onto a panel of that toned gray paper that had a circle cut out. This is some one layer stamping, so I've stamped that in a light colored ink and painted it with Distress ink reinkers used as watercolors. Here, just a cluster of a few of the flowers and some of the leaves and little buds. It's a great embellishment onto your cards, even scrapbook pages. These would be really handy if you like to do scrapbook pages as well. Here I've even just tucked one little flower up in the top, and you can see how that helps balance out the red on this card and a little leaf there. So you can mix and match these with your critter images and your other floral images. They just seem to go with everything. And then this next really whimsical and charming flower is 30-663 Dear Friend. It's a miniature 3x4-inch transparent set. And it has an exact match die available, 51-599 Dear Friend cutout. Great for Valentine's Day, but great definitely all year round. Very fun to color. You can see I've got a couple here I haven't even added to cards yet, but they were stamped onto toned gray paper and colored with colored pencils. And then I'll show you a couple of cards here that I've made with this set. This first one here, I have done the same coloring on toned gray paper, but I also die cut that an extra time using that exact match die and cut it from white. Just offset it a little, just to add a little pop and outline around that. So another way to use your exact match dies is cut an extra piece from white and just offset it a little bit for an added or a unique look. Here I have die cut this several times and layered it inside of a frame. I've even trimmed a few of the little tags to reposition them where I wanted them and used some of the leaves from the tenderness set and you can see there where you can easily mix and match these whimsical floral designs together. So the last thing we're going to look at today in today's video are our new standalone dies. And the first one here is 51-597 Stitches of Love. And I'm going to take some time here to really give you a good look at this set. I think it's a great investment, but I definitely want you to be able to see all of the details, which I know can sometimes be difficult when you're just looking on the computer screen. So hopefully in the video you can get a look. Now what's great with this set is that each one of these frames cuts a different stitching design. So you get a lot of versatility with just one set. So here's a look at that first largest stitching design. The next is going to look like this, and it just takes a minute here for the camera to focus in. Here's what that second stitching design looks like. Third, you have a little bit more detail, sort of a pop-out element. And then fourth, this has sort of a heart design to it, but I think it's subtle enough you could definitely use it all year round. And then finally, the smallest little piece looks like this, and this size is really great for adding sentiments to cards. So now that you've seen a close-up there of all of those different stitching designs, I also wanted to show you lots of the different ways that you can use these dies. So if you just run it through your die cutting machine, all by itself, you're going to get your great panel with the stitching around the outside edges. But if you want to create a frame with these, if you run two through your die cutting machine at the same time, and I just use a little washi tape to hold mine in place when I run them through the die cutting machine, you can then cut a frame as well. So if you run it through, say like this, what you're going to get is a frame. So you'll have that center part cut out and the stitching around the outside edge. Now, if you run this through on a standard size card, 3¼ by 5½ inch, you'll get that center panel cut out, but you'll also get this outer edge. So if you want a really small, simple frame, save that little outer piece that you get when you die cut the largest frame size. You can also cut just very basic frames with these. So if you don't want to use the stitching, just get your standard size card or whatever size card that you're using. This is a 4¼ by 5½ inch. Add your die, hold it in place with the little removable tape like washi tape, and run it through your die cutting machine, and you'll get a frame like this. You'll also get the center panel that you can choose to use or not use, or you can inlay that, do it with a different color. But you can cut just very basic frames as well. There you can see another one that was cut. So you can see with this set of dies, you get a lot of different stitching designs and a lot of different ways that you can use them and layer them up. So here are some cards that I've made with these. Now I know you've already seen several of these cards, but I just wanted to point out how much the stitching look adds to the design. So this has a main element right in the middle, but just to finish it off, that white on white look with the stitching just finishes things really well. Same thing here. This card has a lot of white space, but just by having this one panel with the stitching, I think it just really finishes things off. It's that extra detail that it needs to look complete. Now here's an example where I've layered up some of those just very simple frames that don't have the stitching, but I use this die set to create them. The very thin frame, and then that's layered on top of another frame, which is popped up onto the front of the card. Here I've done a frame, but cut it from colored cardstock. So a great way to add a pop of color to your card design is just to cut a frame with colored cardstock. And again, this is just another look how for a very simple card, that white on white look just really finishes things off. I especially like to pop that up to with dimensional adhesive. Now here I've layered two of the frames from this die set together, and I think when you use them together you get a very romantic look because they aren't the same stitching, so it adds a lot of detail, sort of a lacy flair almost to the card. Don't forget you can die cut these like I've done here from the toned gray paper to tie into the coloring that I've done on the toned gray paper. So it finishes that off really well. And again, this is just another one of those basic sort of leftover frame pieces that I've used to sort of stick my flowers into. So if you've got a lot of flowers colored and you need a place to put them, you can use your frames for that. Now our next standalone die is 51-593 Red Roses. And here's a look at what that looks like once it is cut out. And you also get this awesome bow. And I love this bow so much because I think it looks on cards like it could actually be from ribbon or twine. So if you don't like to tie bows, this is a great die for you. So here I've used the roses and the bow, sort of holding them together. You can also see here where I've layered up some of those frames that I was just talking about. And oop, I think I lost a little pearl here. I'll just pop it back on. Onto the card. You can see here again, this is that bow. I just wanted a little extra something onto this pot, and I just added that little bow. It's so delicate and it just finishes things off really well. I'd recommend cutting just several of those from white or your favorite colors of colored cardstock and just keeping them in an envelope or somewhere handy ready to go on your cards. Now this next die set is 51-595 Love Balloons. And I love that these all cut together. It makes it really easy to work with, but it also shows and cuts sort of that dividing line between each balloon in the like balloon bouquet. And you get this awesome, cute little tag that goes with it. And I think that adds so much to the look of the design. To me, it's those little details that really take things to the next level on your cards, and they're super easy to do and incorporate. So here's this card where I've added this to the little hedgies, and you can see I've colored that little tag as well. Next up is 51-594 Doodles of Love. So some really cute heart arrows. And here's what they look like once they are cut. So cute and fun and whimsical. I think these would be fun to cut sort of in rainbow colors and just layer on a card with the rainbows, just real simple. But here I've added it to one of my stamped and colored teddy bears, and I think that little touch just adds so much again. And again, here you can see my use of that frame die set. Now we have 51-591 Your Love. This is a really great set. Now this is one I recommend. You may not want to cut out that inner heart piece. You can if you want, and you can always, tape it and run it through together. But here's the XOXO that you get with that really great piercing and stitching along that. And here's what I was talking about with that heart. If you keep those two together, you can cut a heart frame, which I really like. I think that is so cute if you keep that one inside of there. And then you can also cut that and inlay it. Do different colored cardstocks. I think those on a tag would make for really fun Valentines. Now, if you do cut those apart and want to use them individually, you can run them through your die cutting machine together to create the frame as well. And here you can see with that arrow layered on top, you could just mix and match so many different colors of those and create some great tags or cards for Valentine's Day. And here's a look where I've used that sentiment, the XOXO. I cut it a couple of times from heavyweight cardstock and just stacked and glued them together just to give it a little extra bulk for those critters to be standing on. And our last, and here's one more example where I used that heart and did a tone-on-tone look with that behind my hedgies. And that's another way to use your die cuts. Just kind of layer them tone-on-tone in the background to give a finished look to your card. Now here's a look at the last standalone die that's part of this collection. This is 51-592 Heart Border. So this cuts sort of like a negative image or a negative cut into your card. But you can definitely save all of those cute little hearts to use on your cards individually, or you could inlay them back inside. And I've used this to make a couple of tags. And what's fun is by positioning that in a different way on the tags, you can get a totally different look. So I kind of did this one so this hedgie would look like it was walking up a little hill, and this one more straight across, so he was standing there onto the tag. So I thank you so much for watching. Remember, these new products are now available in our online store linked below, and just click that new button over on the left hand side. And you can continue to connect with Penny Black on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, as well as our website and blog. And I will link all of those for you down in the YouTube description box below. And don't forget to leave a comment to enter our giveaway. Thanks for watching.